So where do you go from here as a developer? So you just took this course and you pretty much understand how to use the HTTP client in Angular, and you can do some pretty cool stuff sending HTTP requests. Now, what do you do then? What I want to say is learning how to code, becoming a software developer or a full stack engineer or whatever you might call it, that takes a lot of learning and a lot of practice, because being a developer is a high level kind of skill. Like, you need to really spend a lot of time to try to really understand all those abstract concepts and then be able to put them in practice. So the first thing that I would say is for you to really like continue learning. So you really need to learn a lot. You have to read books, read blogs, take tutorials, take courses online or whatever you can find. That's the first thing that I would definitely say that you have to do. You have to learn. There's a lot to learn, like a lot to learn. No kidding. So that's one thing. The second thing is to practice. So if you don't practice it, because it's so high level knowledge and it's very abstract, you really have to practice it in order to remember it and memorize it and fully understand it and put it in practice. So you really have to practice it, build the application. After you learn something, you have to put it in practice. Otherwise, you're going to forget it. And the next thing you have to do is, again, practice. I know I'm saying this twice, but it's really to put emphasis on this. You really have to practice what you learn. Otherwise, you're going to forget it. So this course was not very long, but there's a lot that I covered, and there's a lot of things that I just barely scratched the surface on them. So you will never really build an application in the real world where everything is so smooth and you have no errors. There's no crazy requirement from your customers or anything like that. So it's never going to be that smooth, but at least you have a foundation where you can start building up on, and then sharpen your skills and all of that. So you have to practice a lot. You learn, and then after you learn, you think you understand the concept. Don't spend too much time learning. Like, don't read a whole 3,000 page book or anything like that. That's definitely not the best use of your time. But if you learn a concept, you think you understand it, and think about a real world scenario where you can apply that knowledge, then you have to take that knowledge and then put it into practice. So you have to practice a lot. That's the only way you're going to really remember all those things that we just learned. And you can also try to build like real world applications. So you can take, let's say you can even take any application like Facebook, Instagram, and you can build like a small version of it. I mean, you don't really have to like implement every single feature, because those applications, they have like tons of resources and they've matured because they've been around for like many years now. So it's really gonna be too much for you to try to like build, let's say, Facebook. There's just too many features. But you can actually build small features together and then put something in practice. And you'll be amazed how much you will learn just by trying to build some real world application, and you want things to work the way that you want. So learn, and then practice, build applications, practice some more.